Okay, question 3 is about solving simultaneous equations. We've got the equation of a circle here, and we've got the equation of a straight line here. So our graphs, if we were going to draw them, might look something like this. So we're going to end up with two solutions, two x values and two y values. My first step is to rearrange this equation to make it either y equals or x equals. Personally, I would make it y equals because we've just got a single y there, whereas if we made it x equals, we would have to divide by 3 at some point, and we'd end up with fractions which would make our life a little bit more difficult. So rearranging this to make y equals, I'll just move the y over to the other side by adding it on. So I end up with y equals 3x plus 4. So now that I've got to that stage, I can then substitute my value for y, my 3x plus 4, into this equation for a straight line. So my y is going to change into 3x plus 4, so I end up with x squared plus 3x plus 4 squared equals 34. And now I just need to simplify this, expand the brackets, and make it equal to 0. So let's do that x squared at the front. If I expanded this bracket out, I'd end up with 9x squared plus 24x plus 16, and that's still equal to 34. And then if I make everything equal to 0 and end up simplifying my like terms, so I've got 10x squared plus 24x minus 18, which now equals 0. Reason I've set it equal to 0 is because it's a quadratic. I can end up solving it by factorising or using the formula to find out what my two x values would be of these 2 points that it crosses the circle. First thing I'm going to do though, because they're all multiples of 2, I'm going to half everything to make my life a little bit easier. So I'm going to divide everything by 2, so I get 5x squared plus 12x minus 9, which equals 0. And now it's a little bit easier to factorise. The only way that I'm going to make 5x squared is going to be by multiplying 5x and x, and then I need two numbers that times together to make 9, and then add to make 12 when I multiply by 5x and x. So they end up being minus 3 and plus 3, and that's still equal to 0. So now I could find out what my other two x values are. So I would end up with 5x minus 3, if that part was equal to 0, then x would be 3 over 5. And then if x plus 3 was equal to 0, x would have to be minus 3. There's still one mark available because I need to work out what my y values are. So the best way to work out your y values, substitute them into your original equation that you made y equals, made y the subject. So if I did the x equals 3 over 5 first, so I would end up with y equals 3 times 3/5 plus 4. So that ends up giving me 5 and 4/5, which would be the same as 29 over 5. On the other side, we've got y equals 3 times minus 3 plus 4, which ends up giving me y as minus 5. So my four values for x and y, I end up with x is 3/5, x is minus 3, y is 29 over 5, and y is minus 5. You don't need to represent them as coordinates at all, you can just represent them as a list like that, and that's 4 marks for that question.